It's happening. The former Disney kid, YouTuber, and social media influencer turned boxer and promoter Jake Paul is actually going to box the MMA legend, Anderson Silva. Now, we could talk about how the fight happened and how Paul keeps proving the naysayers wrong, but who cares? Let's talk about the fight. First off, you can't avoid the age difference. Paul is 25, Silva is 47, ancient in prize-fighting years. Silva is slightly taller and longer, while Paul's boxing record is slightly better. Silva has just 3 wins with 2 knockouts and 1 loss, but that was back in 1998. Before we continue, though, this is boxing, so we have to assume Paul has the upper hand. Main draws pick their opponents for a reason, and that's usually because they think they can beat them. Don't believe me? Just ask the undefeated master Floyd Mayweather Jr. But Paul is no Mayweather. It's likely that the problem child thinks he has the advantage because he is the younger and likely stronger man. Plus, he's done nothing but boxing for the last 4 years, so you know he's been in training since before that. In the UFC, Anderson Silva was an unstoppable striking icon. His hands were quick and crafty. His kicks were fast and furious. And combined, he was lethal. But there's 2 problems. The first is that he can't kick while boxing. A lot of Silva's success with his hands was because opponents were so worried about his feet. That threat is off the table. The second problem is that Silva retired with 1 win from his last 9 fights. He's not the phenom he was, and he's not fighting in the sport he was good at. What hope does the Spider even have? Well, there is this. The former middleweight boxing champion Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., who has fought as high as cruiserweight, went 12 rounds with Canelo Alvarez. Canelo is a pound-for-pound elite of the last decade. Chavez Jr. is a very real boxer. Silva went 8 rounds with Chavez Jr. and beat him by decision in Silva's first pro boxing bout in 16 years, and that was just last year. The best boxer Paul has ever faced is Tyron Woodley, a former UFC welterweight champion whose strength was wrestling. Paul is yet to face a genuine boxer, and Silva still isn't that, but this is a definite step up for the problem child, and it's set to go down in Phoenix, Arizona this October 29.
Thanks for watching, and remember, if you want more fight sports in your life, just hit the subscribe button.